The second round of the playoffs are in full swing, and you know what? So is Martin and Monaco after a few weeks off. Let's get to it. Alex, busy with MSG. I'll be at a boxing match. We've been all over the country, all over the world, and you've been at the world's greatest arena, basically living there between the Knicks playoff series. I see you out there talking, doing all the street type of stuff.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
tell you this. Haven't talked all first round, so I'll just give you my quick rundown. You give me yours in a second, okay?
Please, let's do it.
I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that remembered that the Minnesota Timberwolves were in back-to-back Western Conference Finals when the playoffs started. Right, I think that, and I did have a little inkling, like, Victor Wembanyama. We've never seen this before. What does that mean in the playoffs? We'll see. So I was leaning. I had a little Spurs feeling because just like who knows, but I was really confident. I thought the Timberwolves were going to be able to make it to the conference finals.
Very
win
sharp,
the West,
my friend.
I should say.
Very sharp. Since we're speaking freely, just because I have 2 long shot tickets we'll talk out in a sec. One of them does have Timberwolves, but where do you land with the Julius Randle side of all this? Because him hucking up a 35-footer with a whole game on the line, my man, and then just so happens that they didn't have a preparation moment, which is part of my knock on the Spurs being young in those clutch time spots. Where do we go? What do we do? It was still a good look. They missed a game-winning 3. Do you land any differently, even though it was great foresight to remind yourself what the Wolves have done? But then I just processed that Julius Randle, sometimes situational awareness. What say you?
Well, you see, the reason why you do that is because you're watching these games with 2 glasses. One's orange and one's blue. I remember when Julius Randle was a New York Knick, and I remember when you said, you know what, we can't win with this guy. We have to trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. And you know what? You might have been right. But I think the Minnesota Timberwolves can win with them, in part because of the different roster construction and such. But there is shortcomings all along the way, but I just when you looked at the experience that the Timberwolves had relative to the rest of the Western Conference, especially with a hurt Lakers, right, a injured Lakers team. How many teams in the history of the league get past the first round in a 4 or 5 matchup without your best player playing a single game? It doesn't really happen that often, So it's like tip your cap to Father Time tip your cap to LeBron because he's whooping Father Time's ass, as he already said. But to go to the East side real quick, I was all in on the Pistons to start the series because Cade collapsed lung. Okay, he misses all those games to end the year. They're scoring 130 points a game. What's it matter? He's right back, and then he's right back, obviously able to play. I think the Magic were the worst matchup for them, but the team I felt the most excited about coming out of the first round was the Philadelphia 76ers.
Whoa.
And then the Knicks completely poured all the water on that in game 1 of this series. You got the Knicks going to the finals. I'm sure of it.
Yep.
How do you think this series plays out?
It's fascinating, Martin, because, again, it's all in playoff basketball about matchups, and on paper, starting 5 for starting 5, it looks pretty appetizing from a fan perspective, Philly, New York. Now, in my world of betting, I go on air and I talk about the betting situational spot off the top of my head because I got the Knicks numbers, memorized at this point. They're 13-6 straight up with a rest advantage versus a team off the true Game 7 hangover, which is on the Eastern side is 6-16 covering in the last 22. So it's like the human element of getting in at 2 a.m. off an emotional Game 7 win. You get not even a day off because it's a travel day to New York. Thankfully, a short flight for them. Maybe they took the Amtrak. Who knows? And you're at a shoot-around just like that. So it's like a crazy get-up game, and the Knicks have the best net rating at home in the league first half. So they jumped on them, and we've seen in the playoffs, my friend, in multiple games. The first half, if you jump on them, can just pack them in early, and that's really what it was, a tired team. We'll find out in Game 2, though, if they punch back in the ring because – for at least 6 minutes, and I know you watched the game closely, there was physical intangible element there to the Sixers. Like, oh, they're going to push these Knicks team around, like the Pistons in the first round last year did. Muck it up, make it physical, make it, a football match, a little bit more boxing. Will they get emotional? I don't know. But, yeah, the Knicks stayed very, very locked into their game, and Jalen Brunson continues to prove doubters wrong, my friend.
So here's my thing with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson was incredible, and I'm not taking anything away from him. And I get that the last 3 wins have been by such large margins that it's almost hard to, like, take. I don't want to say you take them seriously, of course, but they're by such large margins that it's like, oh, he missed 2 shots. I'm not about to pick on him for that, or this turnover here. But I think really one of the keys has been Karl Anthony Towns facilitating more. And that's something I did not think he was going to be able to do at a high level. One of the reasons why I had a sneaky feeling that Philly could come out of this series, because I thought Embiid would dominate him on the offensive side, right? I thought Embiid would just push him around, draw the fouls. You know, Karl Anthony Towns known for fouling and all that. Well, here's the thing. What I didn't contemplate and what I didn't think and what I think we saw is after Karl got those 2 fouls, yep, you don't like that, but he comes back in the game. Now Embiid's got to play defense in a way that he didn't have to play when Mitchell Robinson is out there or anything like that. And if Cat's only going to have 2 or 3 fouls and stay out of trouble and be able to, like, you know, get 5+ assists a game, that's the outlet that to me New York needs in having a undersized, diminutive number 1 guy. You got to have something a little alternative for your number 2, and your number 2 being a 7-foot guy that can shoot threes like that and pass is what I'm talking about.
No question. Well said. I mean, the nice thing about this Knicks roster construction, which we're kind of in that element or time period of the NBA, I feel, you know, we're past the big 3. It's like the OKC Thunder, which is why I just don't want to give them historic credit, just roster constructed better. Like Presley, I got to give him credit. It took him 2 decades, but he finally got it right. It's like they have the best roster construction. Clip it, Ian. I hate the Thunder Nation. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, this Knicks team, again, you go in the weeds, there's so many positive things to take away from Game 1. The Bridges smothering D in particular possessions on Maxey. Paul George, you know, you saw him got going early, but what kind of Paul George are we going to get? Probably him smiling on the bench in the 4th quarter off getting routed. That's the Paul George I saw on a Jumbotron. But I digress. It's just a Philly team you think, man, has the ability to punch back. Can't even explain 3 teams, and that's why the Knicks are plus money. Getting a Game 7 that are playing right now, or 3 games, excuse me, Game 7 were 6 teams, and the Knicks are at home with their feet up. It's like that in a marathon of a playoff run. So big. It's a reset. It's a refresh, and you saw it. But, like, yeah, big, man.
Not only that. In the Game 6 closeout, there's no way. I don't know what the minutes were, but no starter could have played the 4th quarter.
Oh, nobody hit their props, I'll say that.
Right. So everybody was rested off of extra rest, even in the elimination game. And then you get, so the added benefit of all of that, I think.
And Philly just doesn't have the bench. You know this. I mean, Andre Drummond starts hitting threes and Grimes goes ballistic. Maybe we have ourselves a long series, but this could be just out of timing and rest advantage and how good the Knicks. I mean, four games in this head-to-head were all won on the road, but the Knicks played 3 of 4 on the second half of back-to-back. So it's like you got to explain that to people when you're looking at stuff. I feel situationally. That's why I think you take so little in today's NBA regular season that we should into the postseason. Anyways, we'll keep it pushing.
To that point, Chris Finch said, this team told me they had to flip the switch in the playoffs, and I hope they're right. And then 2 weeks later, he said, looks like they were right. Looks like we had to flip the switch. Very much like the Knicks, went to the conference finals last year, lost in a way that they probably felt like they shouldn't have lost, right? Think they probably should have advanced to the finals, and then they got to go through all the regular season, the whole slog of that, and still qualify. Minnesota barely escaped the play-in tournament this year, and this so far has looked to me to be the most impressive Western Conference team in the postseason. If you want to count the Thunder in there, I understand why you would. However, Thunder, injuries, you know what I'm saying, Minnesota to me is not as proven as Oklahoma City, but they are very, very deep, and their depth, now that trading for Ayo Dosunmu if he's able to come back in this series, I think he will be able to. He's questionable last night in game one. I think he'll play. Maybe miss game two, but he'll play going forward. That's the difference for this Timberwolves team. Mike Conley played great in game one, but in years prior, it was the backup guard and had to do too much. Now you got Ayo Dosunmu going for 40 potentially off the bench.
Yes, and there are a lot of different weapons that could come at you. Let's not sleep on our guy Naz Reid. New Jersey Nas, as they call him out here. I mean, this is a 6-man of the year individual that can take over a game, win a game. And I just don't think anyone's talking about the center-on-center French-off in this FIBA dance with Wemby and Gobert. I mean, not that Wemby didn't
drives me
back
nuts.
last
It drives
night,
me nuts. I haven't heard anybody talk about the fact that they have played against each other since Wemby was like 11 years old.
I mean, this is literally grown man on younger man. It's fun to watch. And Gobert hit him with a few different unique things that only them knowing each other, as you just alluded to, Martin, will give them that kind of back and forth. I mean, they're fencing out here. It's riveting.
Dude,
I mean, all we could add in is pepper in FIBA rules, and it'd be that much better.
It's Mr. Miyagi versus Danielson. Like, that's exactly what this is. Everybody knows that the Karate Kid is eventually going to be the star, all right? Everybody knows that the Karate Kid is eventually going to be the one that is going to be the dominant guy when it's all said and done. But until that day, Mr. Miyagi's winning that fight.
It's understated in this series because my only knock on San Antonio, which is why I like them against the Thunder, is the Thunder are still younger. I mean, they're getting there as far as adult men, but you just hear too many people that have played the game, the physicality element. They're still younger adult men as far as, like, that's why the Knicks are very interesting. A lot of guys in their late 20s in their physical prime coming at you at the same exact time. You look at the Thunder, that's what they are. Spurs got too many younger guys, in my humble opinion, and that situational awareness at the end of the game, which is what this game came down to in game one. Why won't that happen again numerous times in this series? So it's really interesting because I'm not counting out the Lakers at all. The best thing for you on the Wolves side is the Lakers make it a longer series because I don't expect the Spurs to get packed in easily. But I'm with you, man. Hard to not feel like the Wolves, who just took home court in game one, as long as Ant, of course, can at least be this like decoy. He was really interesting to watch. Anything there before we move off Minnesota on his health? Because he did take off possessions.
That's why I find this to be the most, like, if Minnesota had lost this game.
Even better. Like, oh my gosh, they can win games even if Ant isn't the one.
Ant, look, he played 25 minutes. He only played 25 minutes, staggered him to the fourth quarter where he could really impact the game. But also, too, the Timberwolves, and this will be the last point I'll make on it, they have so many athletes that they can attack Wemby. Wemby was exhausted. Last play of the game, he doesn't even get down the court until the buzzer is over. Wemby was exhausted. He hasn't played this many minutes in the regular season ever.
Great call out.
And now it's time to separate men from boys, and here we go.
Let's go, baby.
Speaking of separating the men from the boys, the Thunder aren't necessarily boys. You know they're growing up.
I know they're in there.
LeBron James is about as old as you can be, and we watched LeBron situationally, essentially, run the ball to a Rocket Series win. Right, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna control the tempo. I'm gonna manhandle every single aspect of this game while he still can, and was able to do it. How many games do you think the Lakers can get off of the Thunder, considering Jalen Williams' hamstring and regular health?
I mean, I got a Lakers West ticket, my friend, for plus 12,500. I wish I was kidding, but FanDuel just threw out insane odds when everybody went down like a sack of potatoes at the end of the season, and I just had a thought that maybe they would find a way to be in this spot. But look, hanging a number like 15.5 in game one, which, oh, by the way, is a historic number, the largest number LeBron's ever been an underdog. You think we're going to be that shocked if the Lakers don't come out of game one with a random win, because it's going to be even rest. It's going to be a refreshed 41-year-old LeBron, triple-double watch tonight, LeBron. And it's after a couple of rhythm games with Reeves, took a little bit, got to remind ourselves who they can be. And if you get the best version of Ayton and most, I feel, X-factor important role player-wise, Marcus Smart, Martin. I mean, I know I'm a Lakers fan, but, I mean, come on, dude. We got disrespected as Lakers betting backers in the Rockets series. I mean, first of all, they're going to cover tonight.
Underdogs in every game.
My boss even said this about the Knicks game one. It's very interesting. I mean, like, will they cover? Let's just find out and then reassess. Let's see if the Lakers cover 15.5, or do they get packed in and boat raced, and then reassess. But I will pre-predict the Lakers show up, show out. It's a lot closer than we think. I think if they're going to steal a game, it's game one. But again, I'm all in on this Lakers team emotionally.
Yeah, I think they're looking at a 1-1 split going back to L.A.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure. LeBron historically, I feel like, loses game ones, and there's so much data there that it's hard to ignore. But I would say, like, I do think that there's a concept in the postseason of possession by possession, getting your best shot. And in the Rockets
Jalen
series,
Williams is out of the series, man. He's out of the series. He's not out game one. He's out for a couple of weeks.
When you sit back and look at the way the Rockets series played out, if you were just picking them all shirts and skins at the starting lineup, LeBron would have been your first pick, right? If you are, like, all those young guys on the court, LeBron still would have been your first pick, especially once Kevin Durant was all the way out. There's no conversation about it. In this matchup, if you're doing shirts and skins, Shea's probably your first pick, but how many names do you get to before you get to LeBron? And then remember the fact that you only get to 2 or 3 before you get to LeBron, and the Lakers, in theory, should be getting their best player back. I think the betting lines have been off all postseason to what the actual results have been. I think this is another example. I like the Lakers to cover.
Let's go, man. Not much to add other than let's go, Lay Show. It's just going to be so interesting. So interesting. Without Batman and Robin to Batman, what kind of Chet are we going to get? Because you could throw a Vanderbilt, Hachimura, man, even side of Smart at Chet if you really wanted to go Caruso on Jokic with it and go have a younger physical guy bang, or a smaller physical guy, because Smart's older, bang bodies with someone like Chet, get under his skin. That's all it takes now. Is it going to be Wiggins, Isaiah Joe? Who's going to give them 20 in that crunch time moment? Maybe it doesn't happen. That's how the series could fall.
All right, well, let's go to the last series remaining, the Pistons and the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
I've been all over the Pistons this postseason. I'll tell you this, the hairs on the back of my neck raised a bit at 3-1. I was a little concerned at 3-1, but honestly, truly, there was not really points in individual games or an individual series where I was like, they're going to lose this. Even in the closeout, I'm like, they're coming back. They're coming back. Orlando just doesn't have the offense. Now, what Orlando did have is the defense, right? You see Orlando had no issue locking up a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I wonder, watching this Cleveland series that just struggled with Toronto, and I know that the Pistons struggled with Orlando, but to me, Cleveland looked way less impressive in their win in the first round than the Pistons did, despite the Pistons. Well, they both won 7 games.
Yeah, this one's very interesting. You know, I kind of want to see who steals a game first on each other's home court. Obviously, Detroit showed us they're more opportunistic at going on the road and stealing a game, or a game back in that instance. But, you know, this Cleveland team, I have real trust issues with. I mean, again, it wasn't a James Harden Game 7. Donovan Mitchell was getting dogged by his older brother in the locker room, Dennis Schroeder. I mean, literally calling him out. I mean, I'm livid at myself. Not only did I lose on Toronto 8.5, I mean, you could have got plus money on the Cavs in that second quarter. But that's what's so interesting about this team is they can kind of turn it on very quickly. So they do have a lot of shooters, but the mojo's a little off. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's just they're not meshing energetically. Not to be that guy, too much. But I feel like that matters a tiny bit. So eye test wise, I don't really trust Cleveland. I mean, do you trust Cleveland? I mean, if anything, best player in the series will be Cade. He has home court. Tough to before pre-flop lean Detroit. But, my goodness, if Duren doesn't give us, soon to be hopefully super max for him type Duren performance, and then you got to bank on Tobias Harris, PTSD, all kinds of performances, that's not consistent historically. Whereas if you get the best version of Mitchell and Harden, Martin, and then you pepper in anyone from Wade to Merrill to Allen like Game 7, so Mobley gives you a game. I mean, it's back to that 2-1-1 theory I'm just learning about. I don't know how I'm late to the party.
Shout out to Justin Tinsley, the 2-1-1 theory.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just very interesting. What say you on the series?
So I think that you're going to get a way better game out of Duren. I think he's going to play even though they have the two dueling bigs in Allen and Mobley. I think that there was a little bit of
mismatch, right? Has to be. There's no Angel Reese edge in this one, baby. This is.
I think that I really think that there was something to that. I really think that there was something to the idea.
Come on, man. These are alpha males.
So I think you have that in play. That's no longer in play, and you also have he's now shown, hey, I can play here, I can bang here, I can do okay here. I don't expect to see Tobias Harris being as effective as he has been, but the thing that's beautiful about Cade's game is if Tobias can be a threat and Duren can be a threat, they just spread out a little bit. Cade can, very much like young LeBron used to, he's not as athletic, but Cade can dominate every possession in a way that Donovan Mitchell I don't think can, because he's not the passer Cade is.
All right, Martin, we're a couple weeks off, not even, the NFL draft. Just a riveting Rookie of the Year futures board here with our guy Jeremiah Love coming in at the chalk plus 320 to Mendoza plus 380. Tate then becomes 7-1. It goes to Jordan Tyson plus 750, Jadarian Price plus 850, Lemon 12-1, and then it starts to fall off as far as long shots. So just looking at those six, throwing it to you first, the thing that jumps off to me, and I do want to throw out one long shot in this because he is a quarterback, likely getting the spot. Carson Beck's 30-1. But what jumps out to you, to me, two running backs from the same dang backfield in the top five is riveting. Absolutely fascinating. It takes me back to Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown. We're old enough. Ian, are you? No, you're not. Just kidding. But, yeah, it was a very interesting moment there. But, yeah, I'd go immediate betting. Give me Beck, 30-1. Book it right now.
Ian, you'll remember the day after the draft, I said the one quarterback that I am guaranteeing is going to start week one is Carson Beck.
Oh, let's go.
I said he's the guy I almost guarantee. Like, if there's the first quarterback to start, I think Fernando Mendoza has never taken a snap under center.
It's a deep realization.
Like, that's just a large number nothing. There.
That's not nothing.
And so here's the thing. Also, I cannot forget though. I would say here are your options. It's Mendoza, it's Beck, it's Ty Simpson. And if you're not considering those, after
Ty
what
Simpson,
happened,
60-1?
Listen, this is why I say that. Tyler Shuck started, 9 games last year, finished second? Like, they are trying their best to give it to a quarterback that, you know what I'm saying? They're going to try their best. So if any of these guys see any significant amount of time.
Hurt, or Stafford gets dealt by the deadline?
No, Stafford would get hurt. Stafford would get hurt. He's not getting dealt. But I'm saying if Stafford, in fact, at 38 years old, got hurt and the Rams still like won 9 games, guess what? Ty Simpson is going to be your rookie of the year. But I will say this, my actual betting pick is going to be Jadarian Price for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm taking the second Notre Dame back off the board.
Wow. At the current price of plus 850. Drew Aller, just for fun thoughts here, 80-1. Jacoby Lane, 80-1.
So I liked Carson Beck with the thought that maybe Aaron Rodgers might be there, and maybe that's why I didn't want to go all the way. I think if Drew Aller starting week 1, I think would be the disaster that the Pittsburgh Steelers are not planning for.
That's you know who I'm not what I'm not going to do on the program is suffer down that train one more year, which you tried to help me to not hop on. Ian, while we got this topic here, got to get our producers' thoughts here on the board. Talk to me about what you're thinking here from a betting lens.
I thought I was going to be unique saying Jadarian Price, but there you go, Martin swooped it. But yeah, they definitely
incredible continuity.
We know at this point that Zach Charbonnet is not that guy in terms of like being a lead back. Jadarian Price, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but at least it's in the range of outcomes for him. They took him in the first round. That they need someone to replace Ken Walker to be kind of their lead explosive runs guy, and he's capable of that. Like if he wasn't behind Jeremiah Love in that same backfield, like you mentioned, Alex, I think he would have been getting a lot more attention in the pre-draft process because there would just be more tape on him.
Yeah,
but, yeah, that's who I like. And then Martin, I thought you would give Jordan Tyson some more love. I know you didn't love the pick, but just the fact that he's probably the most talented receiver in the draft if he can stay healthy. But I guess he's competing with Olave a little bit. So
yeah, there's a lot of talent in New Orleans, or at least a decent amount of talent in New Orleans. And
what a household!
I have said this.
His brother's playing in the Cavs-Pistons series. I mean, what a household!
How many bathrooms do you think their parents' house has? Because probably 8. Right? The kid just gets drafted in the top 10. Other kids starting in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Pretty good.
Cleveland, New Orleans lifestyle. Money, dollar goes actually somewhere. Come on.
So let's look at the defensive rookie of the year odds. So the one biggest take I have from this draft is I think Caleb Downs is gold jacket. I think Caleb Downs, I'm all in on everything Caleb Downs. I watched him play.
Unbelievable. I'm completely with you.
I just think if I would have been the guy to be like, you know what? I'll take a safety second if I'm drafting Ed Reed.
I cannot believe the Cowboys came up on this man.
So I'm leaning there, but my concern is, and you know this as well as anybody, the counting numbers, right? Is he going to get the interceptions? Is he going to get the tackles? Is he going to get the stats that an edge rusher will likely get or a linebacker will likely get? I'm betting Caleb Downs because I'm betting on my take, but I'm leaning. I think I would say Ruben Bain, I think, is a really good shot too.
Yeah, Bain's the chalk 5-1 with David Bailey, new favorite friend of Ian's. I wonder what the history is on how many safeties have won Rookie of the Year on the defensive side. You know, because
not
that
many.
sack number is
Hamilton.
not prevalent. You know, you're talking about a lot. You're talking about, and maybe do they return punts? You know, I don't know. Is Caleb Downs potentially in the mix there? I mean,
I don't think so.
I feel really good about Arvell Reset plus 750 off the top of my head just because he will have the luxury in that pass rush. I know Dexter's gone, but you still have Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. It's like that is old school Giants, Justin Tuck ensemble with it. You can't double Arvell Reese, and I know, again, he's not necessarily all-time pass rusher here. Coming in at his particular position, but just an opportunity in that front seven to be impactful. And we know what he is. I think in coverage, which is a little bit underrated on a team that had playmakers everywhere defensively.
So I just went back and looked. In the last 10 years, there's been 4 DBs, all of them playing cornerback to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Most recently, Sauce Gardner. But the last safety to do it was about as old as me. Ooh. His career is that old. So
I know, that's what I'm thinking, because it's tough. It's like safeties don't always get the pick. Some special ones do, but
Mark Carrier for the Chicago Bears. Go Bears.
Woo! That's fun. All right, we're getting into our let's see what
let me throw a long shot at you guys. Alex, I don't know if you have the odds pulled up in front of you.
I do. Talk to me.
I'd be curious to hear where Cassius Howell is. The Bengals just drafted him.
He is 40-1. 40-1.
Not likely. He's got historically short arms, so that could be his downfall. But if he's one of those guys who's able to sort of overcome that measurement thing, he's a really, really good pass rusher. And they just got Dexter Lawrence. They just got Jonathan Allen on the interior. It's going to open up things on the edge, so he could be a sneaky little, sack artist guy as a rookie that could end up being a little closer in the conversation than we think.
Very interesting.
He'll need 2 sacks to double Shamar Stewart's output from last year. So
right,
competition's fierce.